shoot.
The world's changing, boys.
It's time we change too.
So this week's main review is director John Watts' Spider-Man Homecoming, starring Tom Holland, Michael Keaton and Robert Downey Jr., among many others, which made this film...
Jon Favreau.
Favreau, yeah, back again.
Anyway, right, synopsis.
Synopsis time. Several months after the events of Captain America Civil War, Peter Parker, with his help of his mentor, Tony Stark, tries to balance his life as an ordinary high school student in Queens, New York, while fighting crime as a superhero alter ego, Spider-Man. As a new threat, the Vulture emerges. Can we see what Spider-Man can do to save the world?
The world's changing, boys.
It's time we change too.
This is my chance to prove myself.
We have a Spanish quiz.
You gotta get better at this part of the job.
I don't understand. I'm intimidated.
Oh, hey, guys. My friends are up there.
Hey, where are you going? What are you hiding, Peter?
I loved it. I thought Tom Holland was absolutely brilliant. I thought Keaton was a very
Really
good
good
villain. There wasn't enough of him in my eyes. I wish I see more. The casting of Flash...
No, I disliked it. Hated it so much.
I hated that guy so much. Every time he come onto the screen, I just thought to myself... Why, oh why are you showing me this? I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
It wound me up to the point where it got to the scene and I literally was just diving my hand into sweets. That was it. I wasn't even
every time he got onto stage, every time he got onto the screen, I was like, oh, you're hurting me so much.
It was so cringeworthy that I just thought you've ruined a part of the film which could have been made epic.
They're usually really good at casting. Like Marvel will nearly get it wrong. So I'm assuming, right, Marvel have gone, right, they've done what they do. You know, like when you pick teams in the schoolyard, Marvel's gone, we'll have Tom Holland. And Sony have gone, we'll have that guy for Flash. And Marvel are sitting there going, yeah, that's fine. We'll have this guy, we'll have Michael Keaton for Vulture. And they've gone, all right, we'll have this girl for MJ. Oh, wait, sorry, we'll get to that in a minute because that pissed me off too.
Oh, to be quite fair, the whole...
it didn't need to be said. It did not need to be said.
What, the whole MJ bit?
Yeah, so basically right at the end, we're not going to tell you exactly who it is. You'll probably guess it when you watch it because we want to try and minimise the spoilers throughout this. Right at the end, they've done this whole entire story and this girl sits there and she goes, yeah, my friends call me MJ. And I was just like... Mic drop. I was mic drop. That was it. I was like, it wasn't shocking. It wasn't shocking. It was just like, you did not need to do that.
It should have been keep quiet. But this is a Sony. I think this is what we're going to get because it's a Sony Marvel picture. It's got so many elements, and it's probably got executive producers from both sides.
Yeah.
It's probably got execs from both sides, literally sitting on chairs next to the director. Don't get me wrong, the film was on points in certain areas. But the film, for me, and even the wife turned round to me and just said, like, some of it was just so prolonged that you were like, oh, come on, just get on with it.
I couldn't agree.
Oh.
Couldn't agree more.
And I thought the film in itself, with bits cut down and things just getting to the point, as well as just, you know, giving
like
us
the 2002, to the point.
Oh, to the point, yeah. Do you know what? If it had the 2002 storyline, right, with the cast of now, I'd be quite happy.
I would have been like, but it's not all bad. It's not all bad. These are just the parts that really ground my gears. Yeah. But then there were parts that I was like, wow.
And also, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get it off my chest now because I don't want to rant about it a lot. The end credit sequences, God damn.
Right. Guys, there are two end credit scenes, right? Oh. Now, I found it slightly funny, but it's basically Marvel and Sony going, we've got you guys. Yeah, we can make you do anything. Yeah. They could go to Coca-Cola next week and go, guys, right, give us £1 million and we'll make sure your logo is on our credits and people will sit there and watch.
Yeah. To be quite fair to you, I wanted more out of them end credit scenes. We're getting to a point now where we're seeing you know, behind the scenes pictures. People are taking pictures of, you know,
they did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I understand why they couldn't, because they have literally only just started filming, and it would have been such a push to do it.
There was one Easter egg really with what's going to be happening in Infinity War.
I got Max Gargan. I didn't get the Infinity War one. What did you? Well, I might have done. What did you get?
It was literally costume. That was it.
Oh yeah, that's not the Infinity War one. I thought that was the.
You don't think that's
no?
To do with it?
I thought that was this because. I thought that was the Civil War one, because if you actually read the Civil War comic, right at the end, when he goes to try and announce Spider-Man to the world, he reveals himself, and then he gets a suit kind of like that. I was glad he didn't, because I actually wanted to see him in the original suit a bit more. So
you're saying this is kind of that moment there was kind of a nod to Civil War?
I don't think it was a nod to Civil War. No, I just think it was. I don't know what it was. I think it was just a way of them saying, look, Tony Stark's actually happy with Peter Parker. He's got his seal of approval now. Yeah. And then what I didn't like was how they kind of tried to wrap it up when Spider-Man said no. And they went, oh, cool, let's kiss Pepper Potts and try and get her engaged with her. And it was just like... What I was concerned about when I first went into movies, I didn't want it to be the Tony Stark show. And they actually did really well with that, because they only dropped him in every now and then, which worked nicely. But the ending...
good, but...
Yeah, but the ending was kind of like...
Yeah.
Spotlight's now back on Tony because of this whole, oh, he's going to propose to Pepper Potts. It was like, you didn't need to do that. There was no need for that.
To be honest with you, I thought it was very plastic. It had Tony Stark. I thought Tony Stark was very plastic in this. It wasn't the Tony Stark that we've all grown up with and seen throughout the films.
No, he was just supposed to be there as like a father figure and as a mentor.
I know, but some of the stuff he was doing, I was just like, oh, I didn't like the whole bit of the end bit, like obviously where he said, I can't really say nothing
without giving it all away.
But there's an end bit. There's a dialogue with him and Peter Parker, and they're walking up to somewhere, and then all of a sudden the whole dialogue, I'm sitting there going, cheese,
yeah,
cheese, and I'm like, this ain't Tony Stark. Give me a quick quip. Give me something a little bit dramatic. And then tell me what you want. Okay. Because that's what happens with Tony Stark.
We've had a bit of a whinge about the movie. Let's get on to the good parts. Yeah. Well, I liked how it started. I liked how it was...
Brilliant.
Obviously, we got the bit about Tombs. Yeah, like so Vulture and how it all started. Yeah, and then we got the part with Peter Parker as a typical 14, 15-year-old filming everything. Yeah. So that bit that you see at the start of the trailer where he's filming it on his camera phone, taking Captain America's shield and all that, he's kind of dialoguing his whole entire... He's vlogging his entire journey with... Tony Stark during the Civil War part, and that was really, really good and really, really cool. I really enjoyed that.
I thought the comic relief was Happy. I thought that was brilliant.
I really like Jon Favreau, and I thought he did a good job with Iron Man 1 and even 2. Like, there were parts with 2 it was quite bad, but...
Coming off of Spider-Man, if you want a good Jon Favreau film to watch with him starring as Chef, just go back and watch that. It's brilliant.
But yeah, Jon Favreau did really, really well in the film.
Really, really well. I enjoyed him. I thought he was great. He really complimented Tom Holland.
Yeah.
He really did.
The pair of them worked quite well hand in hand. I think Tom Holland did really, really well as Peter Parker Spider-Man. And what I liked about this film is they showed... Like, with the other ones, with both the Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire ones, they got the Spider-Man powers and they were already on it. They were they were as if they were professionals.
Exactly.
Whereas in this one, what they did really well was they showed that he was still a 15-year-old boy and that he didn't fully...
He's still vulnerable.
Yeah, he's still vulnerable. He still doesn't fully understand the world around him, and he doesn't really understand how his powers work. And I thought they did that really, really well to show that he's still growing and still learning.
And the bits that I loved as well were the comedic values that Spider-Man had. I thought Tom Holland, it wasn't overdone.
No,
it wasn't over the top. There was
it was the immature cockiness of a 15-year-old.
It was, and it works so well that you kind of was just like, I love Tom Holland. You've nailed it. Oh my God, you couldn't have nailed it anymore.
Yeah.
For me, out of all of them, I mean, obviously, if I had to rank, the stars.
Rank your spiders.
If I had to rank my Spider-Mans, right, I would literally go Holland, Garfield, Tobey.
All right, that's fine.
That's me, man. All right, I'll put it out there, guys. That's up for debate. But to be quite fair to you, I thought the look of the film was brilliant as well.
See, I like the look of it. Yeah. I thought the Vulture looked really, really good because he looked realistic. Yeah. I loved how he was wearing like a fighter's jacket, but it had the fur around the neck, so he looked like Vulture, and I think that worked really, really well. I thought the Shocker kind of looked okay. And then we got that little nod towards Max Gargan, the Scorpion, as well.
Yeah, we did.
So that was a nice little drop. I would have preferred it if they did more of that. I would have preferred if they had a drop to like the Sandman. Yeah. Because obviously we see that they're trying to build up to the Sinister Six.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been nice just to have, because all we needed We didn't need the end credit scene, which highlights the Scorpion a bit more. But all you needed to know was when Spider-Man was doing surveillance, that he caught this guy with a Scorpion tattoo on his neck, and it went, oh, that's Max Gargan. He does this, this, and this. Straight away, you go, Scorpion. Cool.
Yeah.
If he had looked over to another one and gone, oh, this is so-and-so, and then we could have gone, that's Sandman, or this is so-and-so, and you go, that's Mysterio.
Also,
like, it would have clicked better.
Like that Sinister Six, obviously we know we're going to be getting the Sinister Six now.
Well, it's not guaranteed, but it does look, it looks like that's what they're building
80%
towards.
Sure, I am. 80%. Yeah. But you also, Donald Glover.
Yeah, he popped up in it.
And he's going to be, my head's gone now.
He's in Han Solo movie.
He's in Han Solo, but the character he's playing is going to be part of Spider-Man's world going through to the next 2 films as well, which I'm quite happy about. I enjoyed him. He was very subtle.
Yeah.
He had one key scene with a couple of guys near a van, won't give anything away, and then he had one key scene with just him and Tom, which I thought A, it worked really well, and B, I can't wait to see more from them both.
Yeah.
So for me, that was absolutely awesome. The kind of love interest, I wasn't feeling.
No, didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
I love the twist they put towards the end.
Oh, it
that caught me off balance because I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And when he did it, I was like, we're not going to spoil it for you guys because it was one of them very few moments where in film that I've actually had a person behind me go, and I've actually gone, what? Because I didn't see it coming.
The missus turned to me and she tapped me on the side and she went, did you know that? And I was just like, no. But it was good, and I love the way it went from being just being a reality to then being sinister. Yeah, just got so sinister.
I liked how dark Keaton was. He was not pulling punches. Yeah. He was not going, "You're a kid. Yeah, oh, I'm going to go easy on you." He was, "I'm doing this for my family. Even though you're a kid, I've warned you. You get in my way, I will kill you." And that kind of worked really, really well for me.
Keaton nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And
high praises for Keaton.
High praises for Keaton with this. If you don't win a Marvel Oscar,
Marvel Oscar.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the film. But there's just stuff that just really
I thought the overuse of CG for Spider-Man. Which is why I like 2002. Yeah. Like I like the physical effect. There were times where it's like you didn't need to CGI that. You could have quite happily done that as a practical effect.
And I enjoyed certain aspects of the CG. But then I didn't like the other aspects of the CG where you were kind of like that CG.
Where it was
what I don't like
obvious point outs.
But apart from that, and apart from the end credit scenes, which really, I come out of the cinema and I was like, oh, again. Yeah. But you know, I said this to you, Dale, and Dale's kind of like the realist. He's kind of like going, no, it would never happen. Stop going on about it. Stop whinging. I would have loved, even if it was like the briefest of...
He would have loved a nod from Tom Hardy.
I would have loved a nod.
A Venom Carnage kind of nod.
Literally, even if they just went, Tom, can you stand in front of this screen screen and go, hi, I'm Tom Hardy, and then winked or something like that and then naffed off. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, just some kind of nod to something extra.
I told you, it was way too soon, but...
It is way too soon, but it's just that it just whets people's appetites. And if they see something like that, I would...
You've got to feed the market, though.
Mad.
They haven't connected the market together. They don't know if they're going to do Venom as a 12A or a 15. But anyway, let's start wrapping up now. Yeah. So, performances from Tom Holland and Michael Keaton, massive standouts in the film. Really well done on that. Yeah. Character creation, again, really well done. Vulture was portrayed well. Yeah. Nice little nods to Shocker, Scorpion was really, really good. Sinister Six little nod. Yeah. I thought there was a nice, an okay amount of Tony Stark. Too much more would have taken it away from Spider-Man. Too much, any less, and I think it would have seen as pointless having him in there.
And to be quite fair, at places for me personally, it felt plastic.
Yeah, a couple of performances weren't to the standard. Didn't really do it, and like obviously right at the end when Aunt May comes in, I didn't like that either. No, there was no point. That was basically them to go, here's a cliffhanger now. Now we're going to try and pick you up where you left off.
But to be quite fair, the studios have also spoken about what's going to happen, where the next one's going to pick off, and it's after Infinity War. So whatever happened in this film is not going to be picked up in the next Spider-Man film.
Next Spider-Man's not going to be for like we've got Infinity War Part 1 next year.
They reckon it's not going to be for Part 2-3 years.
Yeah, well, if it's either going to happen after the end of, it'll have to be at the end of Infinity Wars Part 1. Anyway, okay, so yeah, general film, go watch it. It's good. Just don't be like you'll probably get, if you're a hardcore fans like both me and Tony are for Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man is my go-to character. You will have bits where your teeth start to ache and you get a little bit annoyed. Yeah. But that's kind of you can't please everyone.
You can't please everyone, but you know, for the die-hard comic fans like ourselves, you know, we will pick.
It could have been better.
But it could have been better.
Right. Okay. So Spider-Man: Homecoming for me is a solid 7.
Yeah, I agree. I'm totally on that. I'm totally on that mark. I'm probably like mid-7. I
was going to say less a 7 than the original Spider-Man of 2002.
Yeah, exactly. But to be quite fair to you, Tom Holland, if you're carrying on this kind of
he's young.
Golden streak,
the good thing about him is he's young.
Oh, he is.
He's got so many years to portray Spider-Man. He's got, I think he's only like 18, 19 or something like that. He's probably got until, if they do this Spider-Man right, he's got a good, Infinity War Part 1, Part 2, maybe Venom, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. He's got a good 5 films in him at least.
6 films. You could surpass Toby and Andrew without
they only stayed in their own films.
Exactly.
Anyway, so Spider-Man: Homecoming, 7 out of 10.
Guys,
now let's get on to this week's giveaway. We are moving a bit fast. We're trying to keep these.
We're trying to keep it nice
short and simple to the point. So last week's competition was to win Flash issue 22, and the question was, what was the name of the movie that was directed by Michael Bay, starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence? And the answer was Bad Boys. You could have said Bad Boys 1, you could have said Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys was the answer. So well done to James Spire on that one. You have won Flash issue 22.
Well done,
so we'll
James.
get that sent out to you. Now, this one from Limited Edition Comics, I'm not throwing it.
I'll
pass this to Tony. So this is from our good friends at Limited Edition Comics. Like I said, check out that eBay store below. They haven't given us 1 or 2 or even 3, they have given us a full TP, which contains issues 1 to 5, I believe, at the very least, of the reboot of Amazing Spider-Man. So this is the start of the most current run of Spider-Man that is going on at this moment in time with Dan Slott. Now, if you don't know who Dan Slott is, he is the mastermind behind Spider-Man. He's been behind Spider-Man for a good many years, and he creates incredibly gripping storylines.
And to be quite fair, you know, he's a very good friend of Limited Editions as well.
Yeah, he is.
Covers for them and everything, guys, which you can also find on that eBay.
On the eBay account.
You know, on the eBay account.
So, for your chance to win this Amazing Spider-Man TP issue 1 or part 1, all you have to do is answer this very, very, very simple question. And
is it really that easy?
Yeah, because we've already said 3 of them, and if you can't get the other 3, plus there's many different versions of it as well. Yeah. So you have basically all I want to know is one member of the Sinister Six. Oh,
if you don't get that, guys, is there going to be a clue?
No, there's no need for a clue because there's so many different variations of the Sinister Six. I will take any one of them, any member that has ever been in the Sinister Six. Now, I will tell you the cartoon original. Yeah. And you can that's your clue. So the cartoon original, you can just copy one of these. I really don't mind. Was Dr. Octopus, Charmeleon, Rhino. I'm pretty sure Hydro Man was in there at some point. Mysterio was in there as well. Then there was also Shocker. Yeah. And I'm knowing another one they've had Venom as well. So they do dip their toes in a load. So if you can't Google Sinister Six Spider-Man and get one of them down, then I'll be taking that home with me.
Exactly. There's your prize this week, guys. Now repeat that question once more.
To win that, all you need to do is tell us one member of the Sinister Six, any Sinister Six that's ever been around. I've already given you a list of them, and I'm not giving you any more. Okay. Very, very simple.
Google, guys. Go ahead and Google.
Google is your friend.
I want to know. There's one thing I want to know. What's the review?
What's the review?
The rewind.
So, next week's rewind will be the first remake. I can't remember what it's called. It was just called Planet of the Apes, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, with James Franco.
James Franco. Yeah. So we're going to watch the first Planet of the Apes redone, so the remakes.
Like it.
Because our main movie of the review for next week is War of the Planet of the Apes, which is the 3rd? Is it the 3rd of the remake so far?
The 3rd one, yeah. And there's also, they could go on to a 4th, which has not been spoke about, but obviously they can do. If you are a Planet of the Apes fan, you'll know what we're on about. Yeah. So, next week, guys, it is War of the Planet of the Apes. Rewind is going to be Planet of the Apes. So, yeah, next week's going to be a bit apey. Yeah, all right. A bit of monkey around.
What? Right. So that was it for our this week's Spider-Man Homecoming episode. Again, for your chance to win that Amazing Spider-Man TP Volume 1, all you need to do is tell me one member of the Sinister Six. Very, very simple. Even if you watched Homecoming, you'll know 3 of them straight away off the bat.
Apart from that, then, guys, that's the question. Dale's giving you a list. Rewind. Go watch it. My name's been Tony.
I've been Dale.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. 10 AM every week. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, go to our Facebook page. You won't miss out on anything. And we'll see you all next week, guys.
Shoot.
The world's changing, boys.
It's time we change too.